Bang! Neves Knives. I'm Jared, and today we're talking about 6 unique, interesting knives. Starting this list off, we have this Twosun. And what's unique about this knife is the blade shape. It is a heavy recurved blade. I guess I would call it a recurved Wharncliffe blade. And the benefits of this blade shape in use are extreme. However, the downfall is a lot of people fear blade shapes like this because of the sharpening. Because it can be a little difficult to sharpen. You do have to have special stones. Just round stones. And to me, I don't worry about it. It's not even a big deal to me. As long as you know how to sharpen. A recurve is easy to sharpen. You just need round stones or smaller stones, especially when you get to significant recurves like this. And I think the benefits definitely outweigh the negatives. What are the benefits? So the benefits with a blade shape like this is it pulls material into the edge. It basically snags and holds the material. So if I'm going to open something up with this, I can use this almost like a tiger claw or something. You can hook the tip right into it, pull back, and the blade shape itself is going to hang into the material and pull the material into the edge. And it's going to be very easy to not only do a cut, but whether it was going to be a tearing, ripping, or a precision cut, it's going to do it very efficiently. Now, another thing, if you're slicing, say, long cuts, when you're doing long cuts, one of the negative things to a regular drop point blade or some other blade shapes is that the blade has the potential to slip out of the cut, especially if it's a really long cut. Well, a blade shape like this will not only hold itself into the cut, but it will make it extremely easy to do the cut. So when you're getting to the point to where another knife or another blade shape might slip out, this one's going to keep on going with ease, and it's even going to be able to go to the extended version of when you basically have no more arm length left and you can just turn your wrist and finish the cut off. And anybody who has done extended cutting of long cuts knows what I'm talking about and knows how much of a benefit a blade that traps itself into the material can be. So it can be extremely, extremely useful. Now, Twosun does premium materials, premium knives with a budget price, basically. Not always. Some of them are a little bit more of a premium price, but in many cases, they offer you premium materials for a very affordable price. Now, some of them can be hit or miss, for sure, but in this case, this one is extremely well done. We have a titanium frame lock, titanium milled pocket clip that works very well, full titanium backspacer. The ergos are really nice in the hand. You can get up nice and close to the blade. 14C28N stone-washed blade, and you can also reverse flick off of the stone wash, and it works really easy. The front flipper works really good too, as I'm fumbling it, but it actually works really good. Fall shut action, just incredibly well done. I do really like this knife. Next we have 2 knives that actually look very, very simple. Nothing special about them at face value. However, that's what is special about them, is exactly what you see. But what you don't see is what's in the materials, right? So the blade steel is called Vanx Super Clean, which is a super steel that is at the most extreme level. Basically, it gives you extreme edge retention, so the edge will stay sharp and continue cutting for a very long time. While other steels might go dull, this one will still stay sharp. Now, a lot of steels that also do that, the one negative is that they can rust. And in this case, they do not rust. It is basically a rust-proof blade. Now, that in itself is amazing because one of the biggest downfalls to knives, or one of the most dangerous things to your knife, is rust, corrosion, things like that. Once it starts affecting your knife, it's almost impossible to stop. It just keeps coming back, or it can. Now, in this case, these knives are 100% rust proof. We have phosphor bronze washers, titanium frame lock, and even the steel insert that's inside of here is made out of LC200N, which is another premium steel that is corrosion proof. Same thing with this one, the steel liner lock that's inside of here, because we have titanium scales, and on the inside we have an LC200N steel liner. That's amazing. And then the clip is a marine stainless, or marine grade stainless, which is it's a stainless that has to the highest extreme levels of corrosion resistance. The phosphor bronze washers, they can't corrode, so it's basically a corrosion proof knife. You will never have to worry about patina, corrosion, and in the same breath, you're also going to have premium materials that work extremely well and last an incredibly long time. A lot of other knives that come with materials that are also corrosion proof, they're usually on the lower end of quality. So in this case, it has amazing quality. Next, we have the Lion Steel Moleta. Now, the Lion Steel Moleta, what's interesting and unique about this? Well, the handle, while it might look like titanium, it's actually aluminum. Now, aluminum, normally you don't want to have as a frame lock, but in this case, they made it work, and they put a steel lock bar insert in, so the aluminum was not, locking up on top of steel. Now, another thing is that this is an integral. So this entire handle is made out of one solid piece of aluminum. Most knives are made out of two pieces put together. Then we have, or three pieces, but still. Then we have a lock here, so you can basically make it to where it will not disengage. So if you are using it really hard use, you're not going to have to worry about the blade failing on you. Easy to disengage and lock. You just turn this right here, and it'll lock this from opening or from disengaging. Now, the knife is very well done. It is an Italian-made company, or Italian-made knife. Good action. The fit and finish is really good. It is a stout knife. You can really feel the hard use in it. I guess I'm not saying it's going to be extremely hard use because it is still aluminum, but it feels robust. Now, before we move to the next one, here's another example of an integral knife. This is the Twosun TS195. Now, another thing that's unique about this one, this integral, because this is a titanium frame lock now, one solid piece, and you can see it has the steel lock bar insert again. Now, another thing that's unique about this one is that it has so many opening deployments. We have a flipper. We have the fuller right here, where you can flick off the fuller. You can hold it high or low. Sorry about that, guys. Then we have the top flipper. So we have so many forms of deployment. It makes it to where this is very fidgety, nice and fun to play with, but all of them work extremely well. This is a very solid built knife. Now, how do you clean it? Because that's usually what people worry about. How do you clean it if you can't just take the scale off? Well, in this case, you have a window right here. Take the screw out, and there's a little window. You can pull everything out all at once, and you can actually do all your maintenance right here through this window. It actually works really well. Now, in this case, the steel is M390, which is another super steel. Awesome, awesome steel. It can be, as long as the heat treat is good. And yeah, really, really solid knife. Great knife. I do like this knife quite a bit. And I love the frag pattern. Next we have the Buck Paradigm. The buck paradigm is, it looks like it's just going to be a regular flipper, but when you go to try to flip it, it does not work. You can't just flip it. It'll actually hurt because you skip off of it, and it's kind of sharp. But how you use it is you take this little bolster right here and you click it over to the right. And when you do that, that disengages or engages the ability to use the flipper. And you can either just flip it down and leave this open at the same time. But when you do that, you're going to want to close it because that's going to lock it now. So when you disengage it again, now it's ready to close. And clip it back. So you can do that all at once and close it. So now it's locked, open, and ready for action. Then when you want to close it, click it back over, push the blade down, lock it in place, and close it. You don't have to hold the blade when you do close it, but you should push that back into place once you're ready. Very snappy action. It is an automatic, so you can see it is on a spring. So this is an auto, and it is very well done. We have S35 VN blade steel with a Boss heat treat. We have a hollow ground blade, but it is a robust spear point blade. So, you know, pretty tough geometry there. Not going to be the best slicer, but it will get the job done. Deep carry clip that is reversible, and yeah, pretty cool knife. USA made, by the way. And speaking of USA made, the next two knives, we have the Protec Malibu and the Protec Mordax. Now, what's unique about these? Now, I'll be honest, in 2022, it might not be that unique anymore, but I remember just a few years ago wanting a button lock so bad. Button locks, the only time you've seen a button lock was on an automatic knife. So that's what this is. This is a button lock. So basically, automatics gave you the ability to push a button and the blade would spring open, right? But you never really seen them on manual knives, meaning there's no spring inside. It's just all detent, or, well, what acts as a detent, but it's a manual knife, basically, where you get to do the work, and it's fun because, you know, there's no spring involved. Now we are seeing them quite a bit. Button locks are starting to become more common, but at one time, just a few years ago, I remember wanting one so bad, and they were nearly impossible to find, especially in premium materials. Now, this is a USA-made company, Protec, that's doing these in premium materials. We have 20 CV blade steel, an aluminum handle, and they are going to have a new version of this in MagnaCut coming out sometime this year. But you just push the button, and then there's ceramic bearings inside the pivot. You push the button, and it falls. And then you have to let go of the button for it to, you know, engage into the handle. So you just let go of the button, swing it shut. Very fun to play with, but also very useful when you're on the job or something. You can pull your knife out, just push the flipper tab, bam, springs right open. You can get it right into action, close it back up, get it back in the pocket. So it's very useful at the same time with the ease of use. You never have to put your fingers in front of the blade path when you unlock it. So you can just keep your fingers right out of the blade path and close it right up. It's safe, easy to use, and it is a nice, tough locking mechanism. And yeah, great locking mechanism. Now, these are extremely hard to get, so I did want to give you guys the ability to, if you want to experience a button lock, I'm going to link 3 button locks down in the description for you guys. We have the CIVIVI ALTUS. Hopefully there's still some left. This is a thumb lock version. Now these are more affordable options. Very, very fun to play with. And then we have the CIVIVI COGENT. This one's a flipper. Great action. Deep carry clip. I do have videos on both of these, full reviews. Then a new one I just got, we have the Twosun TS338. Now this one comes in more premium materials. The D2 steel, you know, it is more of a mid-grade steel, but we have titanium. So this is a titanium button lock with G10 scales, really solid, really easy to use, thumb stud action, and I'm going to try to link it down in the description for you guys, and a titanium milled pocket clip that works very, very well. So I just wanted to show you guys that because I know people get upset when I show knives that they can't get, and I'm definitely not going to be able to link these. But FYI, right now there is a Max Ace Babylon on eBay for sale for like 225 bucks. So this has a nice big thumb stud or reverse flick. Very, very smooth. It is a button lock, obviously, but premium materials, titanium. We have a titanium clip with a ceramic ball, and there's one available right now on eBay. I just figured I'd bring it to your guys' attention while we're here. Next, we have, two more knives. Next one is the Demco Ad15. Now, this is the actual Demco, not the Cold Steel version, but Cold Steel does make one of these. I love it. So what this is this has a unique locking feature. So back here, this is a titanium bar, and right in here we have a spring. If you notice when I open it, you'll see this back spacer move. See that moving? So that's creating tension back here. So when this opens up all the way, this bar right here is going to drop into that hole, and now it is locked solid. And when it's in my hand, it's even more solid because I'm putting pressure on the lock. Almost impossible to fail in my hand. Now, in order to disengage it, it can feel very weird to disengage because it doesn't feel natural, but once you get used to it, it's your hand gets the dexterity to pinch here, take your pointer finger and pull back like that, and then you can swing it shut. Very easy to use once you get it down. Now there's another way. You can hold the spring and push the spine. That's another way. So you can go like that. But very tough, very strong. It is a hard use knife, and like I said, Cold Steel does make a budget option for this. I will try to link down in the description. I'm not sure if I'll be able to, but I will do my best. Now don't forget, guys, I do have a 10% discount code from White Mountain Knives, Mojave Outdoors, and a couple other places. I link everything down in the description for you guys. But excuse me, my Amazon affiliates are probably what is the most beneficial to the channel. So I try to get as many links as I can for you guys from Amazon, which I do believe I can link the Cold Steel Ad15 down there. So awesome, awesome knife, and very fun to play with, especially once you get it down. And it's something that not everybody can do. You do kind of got to get used to it. Now last is the Raven. So this is very unique. It is in production right now, getting made. Started off as a Kickstarter. Now the way this works, and these will be coming soon, and I also have more parts coming for this that I'm going to interchange. So kind of upgrade it a little bit. So basically there's a bunch of detent balls around the pivot here, and it goes all the way around. You can see those little dots. There's a ball there. Now, back here we have another detent, which holds the handle in place. Once I click that out, now it can swing. Now, the thing is, though, as you hear that, that's 18 balls now, or 18 positions. 18 positions I can lock this into. So right here, I can click this handle in, and now it's locked. So I can lock it any way I want, in any direction I want. So say if I want more of a claw-like cut, I can lock it right there, and now I can use it like a claw. And once it's closed, it is locked. Now this is very fun to play with as well. Now you can unlock it and use the thumb stud and then use the back of your hand to lock it in place. It is very solid once it's locked. It does take some getting used to, but once you do, it's actually pretty easy to use, but you do gotta get used to using a couple different parts of your hand at the same time. And I do have a little bit more of an extensive video, and a lot of these knives in this video I do have other videos on. Not all of them, but a lot of them I do. Very fun to mess with, and it does come with a leather sheath, so because it doesn't have a clip, obviously. Very cool. It does have a double hollow ground blade. The production version will come in 20 CV. Nice and thin behind the edge, and I do like the blade shape. Extremely useful blade shape. Now, once it's disengaged, you can slow roll it and then lock it like that. You can slow shut it if you want to, but you do have to be careful not to accidentally engage it as you're moving it because you'll stop it. So you got to make sure this stays open while it's being moved, then lock it into place when you're ready to have the position you want it in. Very cool and very unique. So that is, where's the sheath? That is the Raven. And there you guys go. I appreciate you guys watching. I love you guys. Peace.